Beautiful. Remember the first time I saw it, you walk away with this feeling of life being so short and filled with so much beauty, so many good people in your life. I just wanted to hug my wife and my kids and pledged to stay young and stay awake to it all. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss my own life. I want to stay young and imaginatively alive to everything, to the wonder of it and the awe, the holy awe of what God's given us, and the newness of every day. I'm assuming we all want that, right? No matter how old. But sadly, in this story, after Carl loses his wife, he turns into a different kind of person and grows old. A cranky old man who is not much for adventure, doesn't really want anything new in his life, just wants to maintain his routine and prefers that everybody just leave him alone. I've met people like that, and some are in their 70s and 80s. Some are in their 40s and 50s, and some even, scarily, are in their 20s and 30s. And I've always prayed, God, don't let it happen to me. I want what the psalm writer in the Bible wrote about. He said, God wraps you in goodness, beauty eternal. He renews your youth. You're always young in His presence. I want to be young, God, in your presence for my entire life. I don't want to grow old and deaf and blind, mute to you. My favorite quote about this topic, which I'm sure I've brought up 36 times at New Hope, comes from G.K. Chesterton, who once wrote, the writer wrote, "It may be that God has the eternal appetite of infancy, for we have sinned and grown old, and our Father, our Heavenly Father, is younger than we." God is younger than you, the eternal God. The movie Up, when I watched it, reminded me of Chesterton's quote. Here you have this fully alive young boy who doesn't talk much, who is just totally engaged imaginatively with his life, and he ends up growing old and losing his dreams in the worst sense of growing old. The young boy Carl becomes this old man, Mr. Fredrickson. It's a story about that boy becoming that old man, and then for the rest of the animation, becoming a young boy again through a whole series of adventures that he goes on. And it all begins for Mr. Fredrickson when he meets Russell.
My name is Russell, and I am a wilderness explorer in Tribe 54. What's my assisting the elderly badge? If I get it, I will become a senior wilderness explorer. The wilderness must be explored! Go, go! Roar! It's gonna be great. There's a big ceremony, and all the dads come, and they pin on our badges.
So, you want to assist an old person?
Yep. Then I will be a senior wilderness explorer.
You ever heard of a snipe?
Snipe?
Bird. Beady eyes. Every night it sneaks in my yard and gobbles my poor azaleas. I'm elderly and infirm. I can't catch it. If only someone could help me.
Me! I'll do it!
Oh, I don't know. It's awfully crafty. You'd have to clap your hands 3 times to lure it in.
I'll find them, Mr. Fredrickson.
I think its burrow's 2 blocks down. If you
2
go
blocks
past
down, got it! Snipe! Here, Snipey.
Bring it back here when you find it.
Snipe!
Okay, keep it coming.
And Russell goes off searching for the snipe and actually does end up helping Mr. Fredrickson in a profound way, despite the brush off. The two of them end up, and I won't give you the whole story, on an amazing adventure together to Paradise Falls. And what Mr. Fredrickson took advantage of here Russell's naivete and his youth and his young passion and desire to help others is what ends up saving him. Russell's youth saves Mr. Fredrickson's. Have you ever been saved by a kid before? You watch them play, and they bring back a really old memory from your life when you were there. You see them exploring with so much heart and vigor and imagination. And you remember that time when you used to look behind things and crawl under tables and look up at things from different angles. You vicariously experience their trust and their innocence again, and learn how to see in new ways, because they're stopping all the time on the sidewalk and picking things up, and they're pulling on your hand to stop and just look for just a little bit longer. Have you ever embodied the freedom vicariously of a child, their boldness and their sense of adventure? It's that kind of childlike nature that I think, in part, is what Jesus calls us to. In order to enter into God's big story adventure kingdom, you need to be a little more like this. Jesus said it himself, didn't he? Only explorers get in here, not just any kid off the street with a helmet and a pair of goggles. That was Ellie, Jesus said. His version was, I'm telling you, once and for all, that unless you return to square one and start over like children, you're not even going to get a look at the kingdom, let alone get in. Whoever becomes simple and elemental again, like this child, and that's where he pulled Russell in between the crowd and the disciples and everybody there, like this child will rank high in God's kingdom. God's kingdom is an eternally young place. It is vibrant and alive, and you run faster there, and you smile more there, and your eyes shine in that kingdom place. It's fully animated. It's only for the young at heart. It's an adventure. The Apostle Paul, stodgy old Apostle Paul, writes, "This resurrection life you receive from God is not a timid, grave-tending life. It's adventurously expectant, greeting God with a childlike, 'What's next, Papa?' God's Spirit touches our spirits and confirms who we really are. We know who He is, and we know who we are, Father and children. And we know we're going to get what's coming to us, an unbelievable inheritance." You are a child of God, no matter how old you are. And He calls you to take up the role, like Russell,